Hello, everyone. Welcome into another episode of Good Morning NASDAQ. It is me, Kai Williams, with Huddy. I say Mike Huddy.
What up, what up?
Your two lovely hosts. Again, Dom is still out, but he is having surgery today. So wish your prayers and good wishes and get well soon. He will be on his road further, another great step on road to recovery. So without further ado, as always, Good Morning NASDAQ today, 8:45. Well, now it's 8:48. Eastern. We're doing over the gappers today. Looks like a little slow morning, not in terms of stocks, but in terms of viewership. Not many of you out there. Maybe you guys will roll in as we go on. The chat is pretty quiet. We have Jay saying Ayo or Yo. What's up, Jay? Or CJ, I should say. But yeah, we'll just get it rolling like we usually do. First gapper is GLYC, 40 cents or 38 cents. We're up. What are we up? 100 and something percent, 125%. Let's look at the news real quick. Actually, let's make the chart bigger. Get the extra relevant tickers out of the way. GLYC, healthcare company. We have an 8K. Oh no, we have a PR. Let's see. Boom. Check this out. Skyrockets on buyout deal. Oh, a little merger action, a little buyout. But what kind? And is it for real? But also there's a study. There's a study PR too. Is there a buyout and a study done? Now it says National Institute Phase 2/3 study did not meet did not meet primary endpoint. Okay, so didn't do too well is what I'm getting at. And then and now we're up 127%. So a little bit confused. GLYC. Let's look at the dilution. Large float. Dilution's high across the board. Except for historically, which is low, which is kind of odd. How could you be so high on all of them, but then historically low? They are running out of cash very quickly. 3 months left. ATM at any moment in time. 66 million still left. Another ATM at any moment in time. 80 million left. Massive shelf of 220 million. Another massive shelf of 230 million. Wow, this company's just locked and loaded. So yeah, what do we think, Huddy? Yeah, 50 mil float somewhere up there. Clearly some bad news happened back in May, and it's never really recovered since. Had one gap and crap, and then since then, yeah, top left, bottom right.
Well, there is a conference call tonight at 8, or today at 8 a.m., October 29th at 8 a.m. Okay, that already happened.
That happened, yep. That's probably was around these wicks up and down.
Yeah, just kind of curious about what that acquisition is, but probably not going to find out what it really is. Just want to is it a buyout or is it, I guess my question is it going to stay at one price or is it going to trade? And just by the way that pre-market is trading in a range, I know that it's not necessarily like a buyout for an agreed upon price, or maybe it is and it's still assumptive that it's going to complete. Because usually when you have a technical buyout, the stock goes to the buyout price. So I don't think it's necessarily that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really have the most clarification, but it is trading within a range. So like I said, I just don't think it's a buyout necessarily in the way that it's just going to stay put.
Right.
That's my first kind of identification. My second one is I have seen this ticker before. I actually remember this run back in 2023 where it went from, if my chart would load, back in October or September, it went from 60 cents all the way to $2 and then never broke down. It was quite weird up there. And it looks like, I guess what's happened since is they got their stock price up to an amount where they could ink a ton of dilution to fund their operations through 2027. So that ATM is very real. The reason that it's kind of down from $4 and has all these nasty gap downs is because kind of what Kyle went over in dilution tracker, it looks quite ugly from a share perspective point of view. I mean, this was holding fours and now it's not even holding, 30 cents. As far as this price range goes, this is where I see a ton of offerings come out of, at least for this year. So I think this is a bad situation, Kyle.
for the
It doesn't
stock.
look good for the stock.
Okay. You
I'd
never
be
know.
bearish.
Sometimes it could be bad for us. But yeah, I definitely confusing with the whole buyout scenario. But again, if it was truly a buyout, it would be trading sideways at a single price. So something smells a little fishy. That if it's not an official buyout yet, it's more of a PR just to get it higher, because clearly they PR'd about their phase 2/3, and they said didn't meet their endpoints. So like that's not the reason it's up 107%. Probably the buyout PR, and if it's not an actual buyout yet, they've got plenty of dilution they could use. In fact, honestly, I mean, I'm not even going to front. If I was a company and I put out like a PR saying there's talks of a buyout and my stock out goes up massively, and that dilution will go away if I get bought out, I will be using it immediately. Because if they're going to buy me out, let's say at 50 cents, but it doesn't matter where my stock price is before then I'm going to dilute the living crap out of it. So I am definitely bearish here. I don't buy the buyout news for 1 second. Even if it is legit, then they will happily, again, like I said, I think they would dilute, get their money's worth, and then still get bought out at whatever price they deemed in the possible meeting. Clearly, the conference call didn't go that well, because since then it's only gone down. Not much, but it has started from 44 down to 37. So yeah, I don't think this is a great one, to be honest. We'll have to see. It could be proven wrong by price action. But yeah, that's that one. So next gapper, next one on the list here is BKYT, or BKYI, sorry. 1.6 million float, up at 92%. BioKey. Okay. Low floater.
We've traded this one before.
Yeah, I definitely recognize this ticker. Obviously a gapper not too long ago in September. I probably want to guess I took a loss here. I don't know. Just it wasn't one that immediately gap and crap. It gave you a spike and then it died. You keep going back and further, and then yeah, it's all crap like usual. What happened here? A couple gap and craps here that actually worked really well. But as you notice, no matter what, there's only one and dones. There's never a multi-day run here. There's maybe 1 day of action, and then it's right back to doing practically nothing. What is the news? The news is secures 910,000 order to upgrade long-term financial service customer to enhance biometric customer identification technology. So a little bit of a, what do you call it, a contract winner? Not really, maybe just a big order. 910,000. What's up?
Sounds like a contract of sorts.
Yeah, maybe it's, yeah. So that's kind of good. However, I mean, the company is, I guess for this company it's pretty big. If it's only $1.25 million float, whatever, I mean, they pretty much give more revenue than almost the stock's worth. So there's some merit there. But again, how much money do they lose and how much money they need? Let's check that out. BKYI. Yeah, BioKey International. So this one's saying the float's more like 3 million, so a little bit higher, which is fine. So a little bit mix of the board, low, medium, high everywhere. Got 13 months of cash left. That's not too bad. Warrants at 185, and where are we trading right now? We're trading at 135. So 185 is doable. That is well below the resistance put in the threes. So we'll have to see there. Where did I go? Where's my internet? There we go. Okay. They're not going to hit those 93 warrants. 315. Honestly, where was the high here? Is this 315? Yeah, just barely. Yeah. This was 315, and this was 321. So we know those warrants are probably legit and or have been used, or still to be used, but they definitely used them up there. 324 warrants, and that's pretty much it. Thoughts here, Huddy? I am using one word, not bullish.
Yeah, this looks like a dog of a company. Yeah, I mean, last time it ran, it did have like a day one that, wicked to the upside and still closed fairly weak. And then we had 2 days of gap that came into this culminating breakout moment right into a warrant, which they, in theory, just based off the chart look, might have used into that 315 level and has since sold off fairly hard. So I guess the question today is another like attempt to grab those 185 warrants, or is just a gap. Is this just a gap up that's going to fail? Like I don't see any world where their objective is to get the price higher than their last 60-day close. I don't see a world where they're trying to unlock more dilution from these price levels. So I feel like what they have is what they have, and this will just trade like probably the dog that it is. Maybe there's some incentive to hold a buck, like I always say. This dollar area, like you're sub $1. Maybe you don't have access to all your financings with the threat of delisting or whatever it is. I don't know all the reasons that these companies like to hold above a buck, but I do know that they can get delisted if they're below. So 30 cents above it, there's room to fade. There's room for it to spike. For me, again, these $1 areas are always so headachy because there's this like imaginary support underneath at a buck. Then there's this like overhead resistance at a buck 85 that's also imaginary because it's the warrants. And so like, where's the middle of both of those? Like 140, right, where it's going to open. So I just see a world where it goes up, it goes down, and then it comes right in the middle, or the other world where it just fades. But I don't see a world where it spikes. If it did that, that would surprise me.
Well, by up and down, you mean spikes, and then it's very short-lived.
Yeah, I don't imagine like by 3 p.m. it's like consolidating at its highs.
Right. Yeah. I totally agree.
That's the scenario that's hard for me to imagine. Doesn't mean it can't happen.
Yeah. I actually looked quickly while he was talking. I quickly looked at the intraday chart that I took on this one, and it actually did look like it was going to break down, held, and then squeeze everyone out. And I covered up here for like a 7K loser. So there is a world this can be tricky, but then even to stopping out, it still closed well below its highs and back sub 2. So this could offer a window of opportunity for longs. Don't get me wrong. There could be a nice solid spike. But again, we have those, just to confirm, we have those warrants at what was the first one? 185, and we've got 2 million, Series A and Series B, 1,300,000 on both of them. So we'll see if it does get that spike right into 185. Again, we'll see how weak it is when it gets there. But it's also convenient, and that's kind of where maybe the previous run started. So that's a good little resistance level there with dilution and just technically speaking. So we'll see if it can get there.
Like even from like the last run, we do have that recent overhead resistance that there could be backholders there. So maybe it doesn't even have much of a spike, right?
Yeah, too. Yeah, 100%. So if it is a good long, it's a very short window, and if not, it probably closes weak. And even if it doesn't close weak, like we said, history unfortunately shows us it's got 1 day at max, and then it's right back to doing what it does best of just chopping around on practically no volume. So a bit unfortunate. I wish for all the longs out there would get something to be excited about, and maybe longs do get excited about this stuff, but I am short biased for a reason, and I pray the day we see. I want another. Speaking of which, not gappers, but I want another like Serve or SOUN where we see a PR where it's a no-brainer. It's like, yep, get the hell out of the way. So, anyways, let's keep looking. I think there's one more. Well, Lucy. We'll talk about Lucy because it is a recent play, but only up 65%, so pretty decent, but not too big. Recent runner back in May, $10. They had to have done a reverse split, right? Because this didn't go to 24. Yeah. This was sub 1, I thought, if I don't remember correctly. Let's just check out the news real quick. Lucy launches first ANSI certified smart safety glasses for all day wear. Whoa. A little AI in there, AI features. Okay. The developer of ChatGPT enabled a smart wear under Lucid. Okay, another AI little competitor. That's fun and exciting. 8-hour battery life. That's not long enough for all day, sir. That's not. It's not going to cut it. Although I'm sure our iPhones don't even last 8 hours. But then again, the glasses have to always be on to some degree, right? But the phone doesn't. Interesting. Okay. Otherwise, dilution-wise, I don't think this one was ever friendly, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, same as honestly same exact medium, low, high as BKYI. 12 months of cash left. 950 warrants, 6 warrants. 5 warrants. Oh, we're not looking pretty here. Okay. So 248 or 488, sorry. So yeah, I wish I was bullish here. I'm not. I'm coming out embarrassed this morning, guys. I apologize for all the longs out there. But My nothing to do with the chart. Total side note, but before we move on, maybe I ask some questions. I would be so intimidated, being like a CEO or someone who works for this company, like trying to compete and create glasses that would compete with the AI likes of ChatGPT, of Google, of Microsoft, of Apple. I think aren't those Snapchat glasses too? Are those a thing?
Yeah, Ray-Ban.
Yeah. With Ray, it's like I mean, don't get me wrong. There's startups all the time, and they turn successful. But like, my gosh, what an uphill battle with the behemoths you're against. So, anyways, I don't know. It's totally irrelevant of the stock today, but it just made me think about like, oh my gosh, what a product to step into, and who your potential competitors are. But yeah, thoughts, Howdy. What do we think here?
I see a lot of overhead resistance. I see a lot of dilution in the money, and not a whole ton of volume trade on the stock as it is right now. So we're kind of gapping up into resistance is how I kind of see this. It does. I guess the question here is, does NVIDIA, with its recent strength, and I know SOUN is up and SERV is up, like that, does that have enough strength to really carry Lucy? I would say probably not, because NVIDIA itself isn't that strong, although holding up very well. It's not like breaking out and going much higher. So kind of take that off the board. So really the only thing Lucy has going for it is it's had some pretty good day ones, but those don't usually manufacture off of a big gap up. They kind of manufacture off of a smaller gap up and then run the whole day. So I think it fails. I think it's gapping up into resistance. I think it's in a tough to survive industry as far as their product, as Kyle said. And I think there's warrants that are in the money. So it's like checks all the boxes for me to be bearish.
Right.
Although I probably won't short it. I am just bearish.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's going even lower since we started the stream, right? Yeah, slightly. So, yeah, I would prefer it to be up maybe more close to 11 gap-wise, percent-wise. But yeah, that's a very good point that I do want people to take away from is like, in my experience, some of the best runners, not all runners, but the best runners don't start on a big gap up. They usually start on like something in the 20, 30, 40, 50% range. Like nothing, I know it sounds like a lot, but compared to what you can see, it's not actually that much. And then they kind of start into it and run, right? The ones that gap up, 80, 90, 200%, their odds to start the day are not great. The run's already happened in pre-market versus one that's like Lucy here back in May, it only gapped up from 370 to 450. What is that, like 25% gap up, maybe 30 or so, and then it runs massively up to 22, right? Versus anytime where it gapped up more than that, back right here on the 31st, here on the 28th of June, then here on the 29th, and now here today on the 29th of October. Odds are just not in its favor when it gaps like that. So take that with a grain of salt. And without further ado, we got a few minutes left. Feel free to pop in a few questions. We'll answer 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe, depending on how long we got. But yeah. Matt says, watch out, Benyo is supporting the bid on BKYI. Yeah, he will do that sometimes. He'll tweet about that, but I don't know his success rate on those. I'm sure if he's successful, he'll let everyone know. But if it's not successful, he might not mention it ever again. So, Come Together asked, do you not think we're giving a Webby today? Wait. Did you not think we were giving a webinar today? I don't know what that means. We are. I think Huddy's giving one today, and I'm giving one Thursday. And then, which reminds me, we have our all-day webinar tomorrow on Wednesday. If you haven't heard about it already, you've heard enough about me, or you haven't been in a live stream the last week or so, all-day webinar, going to be, 6-7 hours from 9 to 9:15 Eastern pre-market all the way to market close. Huddy and I will be there running the show, doing some live trading, answering questions, going over some strategies, along with a couple traders that might join in for an hour or so just for you to allow to ask them questions, have them share what they're trading, and stuff like that. Let me feel free to share the link as usual. However, there's one caveat I want to mention here. Is that most people sign up the night before, which is good. Some people last time signed up the morning of. They signed up like 10 minutes to spare. And I will warn you, doing so will cause you to probably miss a portion of the webinar. If you sign up 10 minutes before, you probably won't get an email until the webinar even starts. and then you're all discombobulated, you're joining in late. By the time I start trading, I might not even see you wanting to join. I have to accept you in. Be proactive. Sign up today by midnight. Don't deal with the hassle of trying to find and be discombobulated and let management have to help you out to get you in time because you're late. Sign up tonight. Sign up today. Don't wait until the morning of tomorrow. You can do it, but I can't promise you're going to get in on time. Okay? That's my only caveat there. But otherwise, we're happy to have everybody. We're excited. Lots of action, lots of trades going on in this market.
Cop, Kyle.
What's up?
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm stern, and then you're like, but anyways, we love you, and we hope that you do come.
I'm just telling you. I'm just being real with you guys. It happened last time, and then some people started complaining. We're like, hey, that's what happens when you sign up 10 minutes before the thing starts, right? Honestly, if management or me was even more of a bad cop, we would cut it off at midnight. We'd say, hey, you don't sign up today, you're done. But we were nice, and it backfired a little bit. So, just letting you guys know. But anyways, let's see here.
I am Huddy. That is Kyle. Good morning, NASDAQ.
Great question today. Thoughts on DJT and PHUN today? These are clearly the hot stocks everyone's watching. PHUN, I'll start with that one real quick. Total dud. Since the CEO left last week, this is just totally deviated from DJT completely. Probably the biggest I've seen it happen. So it's pretty unfortunate because I was hoping it would follow it just enough so that when DJT is weak, this will get crushed again. Unfortunately, this is kind of getting crushed without it, which I hated because my brain is so tied to it following DJT. And so the fact that it isn't, I'm like, that's not really what I want. So probably won't touch it there. I don't know if you have anything to add there, Huddy, but yeah, it's gapping down now and DJT's gapping up huge. Like, it's just not what I want anymore, unfortunately. So I probably don't touch it here.
Yeah, someone mentioned in the room that, obviously the one that's running into the election is DJT. Like that is your sector lead, so to speak. Yeah. Fund is more of a sympathy play, and usually the sympathy plays are historically like worser companies are up for very little reason in the first place, and Fund kind of fits all that bill. If you look into their dilution, you can see some pretty ugly stuff there. If you look into the reason why they're running, it's pretty ugly. So if you look at the long-term chart, like it's running right into a lot of resistance. So it doesn't surprise me that, DJT is the one that, is carrying the torch forward and Fund is not. Does that mean Fund, can't have a miraculous comeback? Like I think Fund can do anything from now until Tuesday to really shock us in either one way or the other. But that's not the one like that I'd be kind of betting on for the election, right? If there was one to bet on for the election.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. And then obviously we have the leader itself. Way better run up, way stronger, way bigger gap up. Oh my God. I mean, for those who are in the room, I was long in 32s looking for 40. I was like, let's get to 40 first. My God, did we go well above that? And honestly, I didn't even make it to 40. I got stopped out at 38, 35 on this little two choppy days here. Only to see it go well beyond 40. How about a whole another $15 a share? So quite the impressive run here. It's getting quite euphoric as we head into the election. So yeah, those are our thoughts. We'll do another question here, and then we'll close it out. Let's see. Try to find a good one here. This is a good one. And if we haven't mentioned the other ones, feel free to save them for next time or join the room. We're always in there to answer questions. Would you say that a ticker does a reverse split and the chart gets reset on the prices? Do you then have to pay much attention to previous levels anymore? What do we think?
When a chart gets reset due to like a reverse split?
Yeah, when it gets a reverse split and then the price is reset, so when we go look at the chart, like the prices have changed. Do we look at those prices now as the same level of resistance if it hadn't done a reverse split? Or do we still care about those levels?
Okay, like PHUN I think is the better example. So let's pull up the chart.
Yep.
Like, okay, we've done a reverse split since this. Like when I remember back in whenever, that was 50 cents was the high. So now it's $23 is the high. So it's just been reverse split adjusted. And like if I'm looking at this chart and I'm looking at the volume that's happening now and I'm comparing it to the volume that happened there and the price levels that it topped out on, that is where I'm looking for a top. Given that there's real volume that traded there, it's a real run. Yes, the reverse split has happened. I still think there are bag holders. I still think those levels are significant, given the context of this chart. Maybe there are some charts where I can bend the knee and kind of like try to find a creative way to ignore it. But I think more often than not in the market, like if it's there and you're looking left and you see a bunch of failure results in an area on big volume, you should probably trust that that is closer to the top than like a breakout, right? Obviously anything's possible, but that's kind of how I see it.
I completely agree. That is how I see it as well. So, last point here before we go, because this is a good question. Come Together did sign up for the all-day webinar tomorrow. Awesome, exciting. Can I can log into Clover. Also awesome and exciting. Do I just click on the webinar on the site to connect tomorrow? One of two things. Either A, there will be a webinar link on the website under that little section that you can click on, or you will get an email with the link. Either or will happen. I'm not sure which one just yet. I'm pretty sure it'll be an email because last time it was an email. You click the link, I let you in, and then we're good to go. That's how it works. So, but anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. And again, reminder, there will be no Good Morning NASDAQ live trading tomorrow because the all-day webinar is tomorrow. So if you don't see Good Morning NASDAQ up, you know why. We are off doing this in a private setting. And any closing thoughts, Huddy?
Just good luck to everyone that's trading right now. I mean, we have some like really fun, exciting multi-day runners and gappers, and it's a good market whether you're long or short. So good luck.
Beautiful, love it. Yeah, great market out there. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Didn't even ask you guys for the like button today, but we got 42, pretty solid. Thank you so much for the love and support. Again, wish Dom a happy get well soon and successful surgery today, and we'll see you all. Possibly either Wednesday night for Wednesday, but we haven't totally decided that yet because the webinar is usually pretty exhausting. So it'll either be Wine Wednesday, or if not Wine Wednesday, it'll be Thursday for Good Morning NASDAQ. We'll be back to it regular time, 8:45 Eastern. So anyways, guys, thanks so much. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you guys next time.